Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to What's the Damage, the good old WTD question mark here on my channel. You know, the segment on this channel where I can unleash all of my inner, rage and anger and sadness and sorrow, all of the negative emotions that a human being can feel on this plane of existence. And today's topic is going to be a mixture of all of those emotions that I just mentioned, This is gonna be a hard topic to talk about, it's something that's been affecting me for a while now, over the last few weeks. And, this has actually been affecting my content creation here lately, that's why my uploading schedule has been a little out of whack, but not just that, it's just my computer that I formatted recently, I completely cleared the cache and there were, tens of thousands of files there that weren't being used. I got rid of a few hundred gigabytes of space and now I guess the computer doesn't know what to do with all that space now, and now it's working a little bit slower. It's taking an entire day to export a video to upload, but that's just the technical side of things. But on an emotional level, I have been very disheveled lately, haven't really been having a lot of desire to do things right, and it's been affecting my entertainment. I can't watch movies or TV shows or play games or watch sports without thinking about this. And now it's not bothering me as much now as it was, like maybe a week or so ago, but I'm starting to make strides to overcome it. And despite the intro with What's the Damage and the quirky background music and the outro at the end, make no mistake, this is a very serious topic, and I don't know, I'm going to try to, bring my own formula to it, my own spin where I make jokes and talk about it in a more, family-friendly way, even though the motorcycle bastards probably won't allow that. Oh my god, every single video, huh? But anyway, I have been going through something lately that if you guys I don't know if you did, but if you happen to watch this video that I uploaded at the beginning of the year, which I think was called Romance something heartbreak, something about love, something that I posted where I was trying to get into a relationship with the person who I really cared about, but ultimately she ended up really disappointing me. That was sort of like me letting go of the person before I even had a chance with her, That situation was much more placid than this one here. In case you guys don't know, I don't really talk too much about this on YouTube, like for example, my marital status, relationships, but I'm single. I've been single for a while, and even if I had a girlfriend or a wife, I don't think I would talk about her too much on here because there are certain parts of my personal life that I prefer to keep private outside of even YouTube, which aside from Twitter or X, whatever it wants to be called now, I am very open about my personal life. I like to share things, especially when it's for the sake of creating content, but there are certain things that I don't like to get into because they're too personal, right? Relationships are one of them, but I don't know. In the case of this situation here, I felt like maybe talking about it here, using my platform, giving myself a voice here for other people to listen might help, while of course keeping many details ambiguous so, I don't expose certain people in real life, But I was going through something involving a girl some time ago that, the best way that I can describe it is that what I had with this person fell and completely shattered, and there were millions of pieces scattered all over the place, and I'm having trouble picking all of them up, Like when I say shatter, it's pretty much me, right? Like my heart was shattered, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you guys. I really went through, for the first time in a very long time, real, genuine, painful heartbreak. And I don't know if you can say, I'm not gonna go on to say that my soul was shattered, that's a bit too over dramatic, but my heart felt like it did break into countless pieces, along with the relationship or the supposed relationship that I wanted to have with the person, the relation that we had there without being romantic just fell and was completely destroyed. And what's weird is that the situation itself, the memories that I have of the person now, the past, the history that I had with her, and my heart, they both shattered, and now the pieces got all mixed up and jumbled, in this huge mess of, just broken remains, I'm pretty sure a lot of people watching this video can relate to this, you know how when you feel something for a person and you're not entirely sure if it's platonic yet or not, you know, but you feel some kind of connection with her, right? And, you know, I don't know, the way that you guys interact in a certain environment, you know, the way, you know, you look at each other and make jokes and make each other laugh, you know, you feel like there's something there, you know, you could swear that there is something that, you know, just hasn't been tapped into yet, right? Like there's potential there for something romantic. You feel such a strong attraction, and everything about the situation, or almost everything, indicates that the person might feel the same towards you. And then you suddenly discover, you know, that they don't, in the worst way possible. And suddenly in a matter of seconds, in just a moment, the whole situation flips upside down. And now you don't know what to do. It's almost like the, you know, the floor just evaporated under you, and now you don't know what to do. You just start falling, right? And you keep falling and falling and falling and falling, you know, and there's no end in sight. There's no ground for you to fall on. You're just endlessly falling, you know? And that's how I've been feeling lately, right? It's like, you know, I have been trying to train my brain over the past few years to, you know, I don't know, like learn new things, keep it healthy, you know, and up to date on what's happening around the world, and learn new things that will, I think that like the more things that you learn, the more you occupy your brain with new knowledge, you know, and think about it, you know, and talk about it with other people, the healthier your mind is, right? So I find it very difficult sometimes to keep out the bad thoughts, you know, and keep the good thoughts in. Depending on the situation, I can overcome it very quickly. You know, I have been hurt by a lot of women in the past, so I have sort of like a hard shell, you know, on the inside. But, you know, I try to be hard on the outside and on the inside, but everybody has a weak point, you know. Even the toughest man on the planet has a weak point, you know, and it can be so small that just a needle might be enough to penetrate it. But once you do, I mean, it falls, right? It's like David and Goliath, you know? You're faced with a huge giant, you know, above you, a very hard obstacle to overcome. And even something as small as a little stone hitting the right mark, right here in the forehead, you know, just topples it, you know? So every person has a weak point. And I was hit in mine very aggressively, you know? Like I didn't actually cry, although it's not like it's really hard for me to cry over a person, you know, over a woman, but I almost did. And it's not like I was fighting back tears or anything. It's just, it's very hard for me to shed a tear with this kind of thing, but it really messed me up, right? So, and it didn't help the fact that I already had a professional relationship of sorts with the person, right? You know, I'm not gonna say what relationship, but let's just say that we had a cohabitation in the work environment. So it's one of the reasons why I didn't want to actively try to engage in a romantic relationship, you know, and maybe her for the same reason. But what's really weird is that through a series of things and attitudes that she said, you know, and demonstrated, I realized that there was never any chance for me. And it's really exhausting when you're constantly treating a person well, you're trying to give them your all, you're trying to, even though you don't have a lot of hope that there is a relationship, you know, in the future, you treat them well to show that you care, that you worry about them, you know, you pray for them, you really motivate them to be better and inspire them to try to, you know, always be happy, make them smile, make them feel good being with you, doing them a lot of favors so they can want to come and spend more time with you. And the person is just very ungrateful, you know, they're arrogant, they're crass, they're always rude to you. So, you know, in the end, the heart just gets tired of it. But speaking of the heart, I am in a very, very complicated situation emotionally and psychologically where, you know, my brain, my mind has already accepted that I don't like this person anymore. In fact, I think I even hate her, you know, I don't want her, she's not good for me, I want to get rid of her, you know, but my heart doesn't yet, you know what I mean? Like the heart is the most stubborn organ in the human body, right? Sometimes our mind wants something, but the heart wants something else, sometimes the exact opposite. So there is a part of me somewhere, there is a part of my heart that still kind of wants her, but it's very small. Like, it's getting smaller every day. You know, I'm wanting her less and less as each day goes by, but there is still a very small attraction because, you know, I mean, you know, the girl was pretty, you know, we had a lot of things in common. I was able to sort of map out a relationship with her, but now it's like, okay, I have to, like, my brain has to convince my heart that it doesn't want the person that I had been pining over for months, you know? It was an ongoing thing. You know, I had craving sounds bad. Makes me sound like a cannibal, my God. I had a strong attraction to this person for months, you know, many months. It was a long time, and, you know, it's complicated because, you know, you don't want to mess up the professional relationship that you have, you know, so, but I discovered through a few attitudes, you know, that she showed, and also trying to talk to her, you know, privately, and she reacted in a very immature way, you know, I realized that I deserve a lot better. You know, I used to think, wow, maybe this girl is too good for me. Maybe she's out of my league, until it flipped upside down, and now I realized that I'm out of her league. Like, the way that I treated her, like, so well and, you know, lovingly and caring, and she always giving me the exact opposite, you know, it's like, why? Like, why am I pining after this person if there are so many better options out there, you know? And it's hard because it's not easy for you to spend so long desiring somebody's attention and affection, and then suddenly you have to forcibly push her out of your life. You know, you have to push her away because she pushed you away. You know, and it's normal. This is something that I have gone through similar situations in the past, but this is very unique in the regards where even before all of this disaster took place, we already had a complicated situation where even if there was, you know, even if we both felt the same way, it wouldn't have been wise to pursue a relationship, you know, but it feels so strange now because there are days when I don't think about her and what happened and I can move on, but there are also days where it's like, man, I can't get her out of my head, you know? But it's mostly out of anger and frustration that I couldn't say, and I never will be able to say what I really felt, you know? And like, she pretty much spit fire at me in the last conversation we had virtually online through WhatsApp, right? Which is the main form of communication online here in Brazil. I think Americans use texting a little more, but like, because she was so rude and arrogant, I had two options, right? Either I fight fire with fire or I fight fire with ice, you know? So instead of being rude back to her, I just said, okay, it's fine, do what you want, you know? You know, I hope that you continue on your journey here. You know, I think it's better for us to not talk anymore, you know, and yeah, oh, by the way, happy late birthday, because it was her birthday that week and I already knew. I had plans, you know, I was gonna throw her a surprise birthday party, you know, at the workplace, you know, bring a cake, and she didn't know. So I said, okay, fine, happy late birthday, and that was our last conversation. And it still stings because, I mean, it's like you build up so much hope for something, you know, and then suddenly you have to break it back down forcibly against your will, you know, like the Linkin Park song, you know, we're building it up to break it back down. And there's another very interesting song that I can reference now, which is Vermilion by Slipknot, you know, both part 1 and part 2, where Corey says that, you know, despite everything, I won't let this build up inside of me, you know. It's like, there's a part 1, which is the regular heavy metal version, and there's part 2, which is softer acoustic rock, you know, where it's like, you know, I won't let this build up inside of me, because, like, you're trying so hard to not think about a person who hurt you, even though there was an attraction there, but then you have to accept that it's not going to happen and force yourself to let her go, you know, and the pain that comes with it, and you have to take that pain and transform it into something else, you know. You're telling yourself you're not going to let it affect you, even though it clearly is, because just the fact that you're talking about it means that it is affecting you. So that's kind of what I'm going through right now, you know. You have to train your body and your mind and your heart to willingly let go of a person that you would have done anything to not let go of before, you know? So that's what I've been going through right now, and that's why it's been so hard to focus on other things in my life, you know? Like loss of appetite and losing sleep, right? It's almost like the basic initial symptoms of depression, you know, but I refuse to let this person put me back in that hole, which was clinical depression a few years ago. So that's essentially what's happening with me right now, and that's why I've been struggling to create content here for you guys. I think that time is the best thing for me right now. Time really truly heals all wounds, you know, and I wish I could take this situation and fast forward a bit, you know, a few more weeks or maybe months, you know, to when I probably completely forgot about it or didn't, you know. I have a feeling this is gonna linger for a while, you know, but it's tough. If only I could make it just go by faster, you know. Time truly does heal all wounds, and even if it doesn't completely heal them, you know, some wounds leave a scar, you know, but I think that the more time goes by, the better you feel. You know, it's complex, man. It's really complex, but well, I don't know. You know, I wish I could, you know, as the days go by, I do feel a little better and better, but it's still complicated. It's been very, very, very hard to deal with this, you know, and it's equally hard to explain it, you know, if you've never gone through it, you know, specifically, uniquely, you know. It's a really tense situation that makes me feel angry because it is partially my fault. Like, I allowed myself to feel something for this person, you know, and now I'm the one who has to pick up the pieces because she doesn't care, you know. So there's a chance that she doesn't even know what I felt, which is great, you know, because I have a feeling that if she ever found out what I felt, I think she would have hurt me even more, you know. She would have made it worse, and it's really hard to admit, you know, that this was heartbreak because I am a big denier of this kind of thing, you know, as men tend to be, you know. We're not very open about our feelings and emotions as women are sometimes. I understand that the world has become more and more progressive, you know, whatever you want to call it, you know, this whole woke culture thing where everybody talks about their feelings and sentiments and everybody's all sensitive and butthurt. But anyway, like, I don't know, there's in general, I don't think guys really open up about this too much, you know, so it's hard for me, you know, not because of societal norms or, you know, social status or anything. It's just, it's very, very deep and personal, and it's also kind of embarrassing. It was a very humiliating experience for me, but also very humbling, you know. I was able to sort of open up my eyes and wake up a little bit more, you know, and in a way, I'm relieved that it stopped before it could progress any further and possibly get worse and cause an issue for me, you know. But still, now that it's over, the smoke still hasn't cleared, you know, and I'm still feeling very, very crestfallen and upset about it. I'm disappointed, you know, in myself, in the person, in the situation, everything, you know, and I'm still trying to, like, there are certain things that happen around me that make me remember her, that remind me of what we had or could have had, you know, won't ever have. So yeah, but at least I did my part. Always treated them well, you know, tried to make them feel good, and you know, that's just what life is. Sometimes you reap what you sow, or is that not the right expression? You collect what you plant, you grow. I don't know, like, basically if you plant something good, you will reap something also good, and if you plant something bad, you'll reap something bad, you know. Like if you plant, you know, wind, you're going to reap storms, you know, that kind of thing. But you know, if you plant a seed with the intention to grow something healthy like fruit, then that's what's going to grow. I don't know, I lost track of the analogy here already, but still, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm actually getting a phone call now and I have to take it, but I think I'm already at the end anyway. You know, I kind of got this here as much as I wanted to, and I don't want to extend this too much because it's actually kind of depressing, to be honest. But anyway, guys, thank you for letting me open up about this. You know, this video got a little bit longer than I thought it would, but that's just how these concept vlogs are. I just wanted a space to come here and share this, you know. Just wanted somebody to hear me out, you know, because maybe that's gonna help out a bit, you know. Even if you don't directly interact with me, you know, just giving me your ears, you know, helps a bit, so thank you for that. And if you happen to like this video, which I think is unlikely, you know, just me rambling on about my emotional state, please go ahead and give it a like and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day, or at least I'm trying to lately. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, was it to say? Yes, and it's all good. Oh, and hit the notification bell too so I can know exactly what time I upload, and it's all good. I promise the next video is going to be a lot more lighthearted, you know, a little more interesting, you know, definitely better than this. So this is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen. It's actually over there. Yes, roll the outro screen.